will take steps to shut down unscrupulous immigration consultants. Our government will also introduce legislation to speed up the revocation of citizenship of those who have concealed their war crimes. Notre pays est une terre de refuge.
We are a country of
Aux victimes de
refuge.
catastrophes dans leur pays
For those
d'origine,
victimized by
ou de
disaster in
persécution
their
au mains de leur
homeland
propre
or facing
gouvernement,
persecution by
le
their own
Canada offre une
governments,
lueur d'espoir.
Canada is a beacon.
Quand la catastrophe s'est abattue
When
sur
disaster
Haïti,
struck in
notre
Haiti,
gouvernement a accéléré
our
le
government
processus
accelerated the
d'adoption
adoption process for Haitian orphans.
De plus, il
And
autorise la prolongation
it is
du séjour au
allowing
Canada
Haitians temporarily in
des
Canada
ayant obtenu un visa
to
temporaire.
extend their stays.
Afin d'éviter aux
To
réfugiés
remove the
véritables
years of uncertainty often faced by refugees in genuine need,
et de fermer l'accès à ceux
while
qui cherchent à
closing off
contourner le
avenues
système,
for those simply seeking a back door into the country, our government will propose comprehensive reforms to the refugee system.
à l'établissement
It supports the establishment of a national monument to the victims of communism,
il appuiera un projet de
and it
loi
will
visant
support
l'édification
legislation
d'un monument
to
national
establish a national Holocaust memorial.
We are a northern country. Canadians are deeply influenced by the vast expanse of our Arctic and its history and legends. Our government established the Northern Strategy to realize the potential of Canada's North for Northerners and all Canadians. It will create a world-class high Arctic research station. The Joint Review Panel on the Mackenzie Gas Project has completed its report. Our government will reform the northern regulatory regime to ensure that the region's resource potential can be developed where commercially viable, while ensuring a better process for protecting our environment. It will continue to give Northerners a greater say over their own future and take further steps toward territorial devolution. Our government will continue to vigorously defend Canada's Arctic sovereignty. It will continue to map our northern resources and waters. It will take action to increase marine safety and reduce pollution from shipping and other maritime traffic. Notre pays est d'une beauté naturelle
We
inégalée.
are a country of unparalleled
Afin de
natural
mieux
beauty.
protéger notre environnement
To further
naturel,
protect and preserve the diversity and health of our natural environment, our government will bolster its action plan on clean water.
plus il misera sur la création
And it will build on the creation of more than 85,000 square kilometers of national parks and marine conservation areas as part of its national conservation plan.
Notre pays se bat pour
We are a
défendre
country
ce qui est
that
juste
stands
et
up for what is right in the world.
Les Canadiens veulent que leur gouvernement se batte pour
Canadians
ce qui est
want
juste
their government to do
plutôt
what
que
is
pour ce qui est
right,
populaire.
not what is popular.
Ils veulent que leur pays accomplisse
They
sa
want their
part de
country
travail
to
sur la
carry
scène
its
internationale,
share of work
au lieu de s'en tenir aux paroles.
in international affairs, not just talk about it. And they want their government to make only those commitments it intends to keep.
Au sein du débat entre les nations,
In the debate
notre
among
gouvernement
nations,
mènera une politique
our
étrangère
government
qui
will
s'adapte
pursue a
au
foreign
temps qui
policy that
change,
responds to
mais qui
changing
demeure
times,
ancrée dans les valeurs
but remains
canadiennes
anchored
et
in
fondée sur une
Canadian
vision très
values
éclairée de la
and an
souveraineté
enlightened view of
qui reconnaît
sovereignty
l'interdépendance
that
fréquente
recognizes the
des
national
intérêts
interests are often interconnected.
Through our leadership this year of the North American G8 and G20 summits, our government will advocate greater investment in maternal and child health in developing countries. It will continue to push for stronger financial market regulation modeled after Canada's world-leading practices, and it will oppose trade protectionism in all its guises. Our government will use its voice to speak on behalf of Canada's commitment to global security and human rights. Recognizing the danger posed by the proliferation of nuclear materials and technology to global peace and security, Our government will support the initiatives of President Obama and participate fully in the landmark Nuclear Security Summit in Washington in April. Nowhere is a commitment to principled policy backed by action needed more than in addressing climate change. Our government has advocated for an agreement that includes all the world's major greenhouse gas emitters, for that is the only way to actually reduce global emissions. And it has pursued a balanced approach to emissions reduction that recognizes the importance of greening the economy for tomorrow and protecting jobs today. L'accord de Copenhague incarne ces principes.
The Copenhagen Accord reflects these principles and is fully supported by the Government of Canada. Together with other industrialized countries, Canada will provide funding to help developing economies reduce their emissions and adapt to climate change. Here at home, our government will continue to take steps to fight climate change by leading the world in clean electricity generation and recognizing our integrated continental economic links. Our government will work to reduce emissions through the Canada-US Clean Energy Dialogue launched last year with President Obama's administration.
Honourable members of the Senate and members of the Commons, you are charged with an important task: to give voice to the values, concerns, and aspirations of Canadians. This is a year when the eyes of the world are on Canada. A year in which our athletes are excelling here at home at the Olympic and Paralympic Games. A year in which Canada will host world leaders at the North American G8 and G20 summits. A year in which Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II will celebrate Canada Day with Canadians. A year in which Canadians are leading the way in humanitarian efforts in Haiti, just as they are standing for freedom at great cost in Afghanistan. And it is a year during which the Canadian economy is emerging from recession as one of the strongest and most resilient in the developed world. These are all things of which Canadians can be justifiably proud. Ces faits rappellent à tous les Canadiens.
They remind every Canadian that our citizenship is more than a contract to pay taxes in exchange for government services. To be Canadian is to show the world that people drawn from every nation can live in harmony. To seek peace but stand on guard for rights, democracy, and the rule of law. To be resolute in confronting a global crisis and ambitious in planning for a more prosperous future.
The future to which Canadians aspire will not arrive by chance. Grand visions for a nation's future will come to nothing if not balanced by the means to pay for them. To realize the hopes Canadians hold for themselves and their families, the economy must remain our government's single most urgent priority. Hope is born on the wings of prosperity. That is why tomorrow our government will present a budget focused on jobs and growth, now and for the future. Honourable members, let us join together to build a stronger Canada and a stronger economy. As you set about this vital work, I pray that divine providence guide you in your deliberations.
Governor General Michaël Jean completing the reading of the speech from the throne here. As the Prime Minister, Stephen Harper, looks on, the speech is given to one of her aides. The speech took just about an hour, almost exactly an hour to read, just under 6,000 words, and a lot of ground to cover. It painted a broad picture of what the government hopes to accomplish after its recalibration exercise of the last couple of months. We've got time to try and get a sense of what some people are thinking about all this now, including some of the opposition leaders, but let's